Hey, what's going on there, fellow delinquents? Mischief here, and I just want to talk a little bit more about the Combat Master from Terran Tactical and my John Wick collection, and how can you have the Glock 34 Combat Master from John Wick 2 without having the appropriate Glock 26 to accompany that. So yes, this is the combat carry, the Glock 26 combat carry from John Wick 2. When I ordered this job done to this particular pistol, they did not have the John Wick 2 custom package for it. I ended up having to send it in there to get just the combat carry done. It has all the features from the movie except for one minor detail. This ledge right here was not in the movie. This is actually something that I requested for this particular pistol. And so other than that, everything else is the exact same from the movie itself. I just wanted this little ledge right here instead of just a little bit of texture right here. I don't know if that's really going to make much of a difference, but it really shouldn't, other than aesthetics. Maybe I should have just stuck with this, but oh well. We got that little ledge right there for your thumb. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to shoot these two side by side, because my other video about the Glock's big versus small, it seemed to get a lot of attention. And because of that, I wanted to do a big versus small Glock 26 combat carry versus the Combat Master, and which one actually shoots a little bit better for me. And so anyway, we're going to be using 115 grain Blazer aluminum case. And let's go ahead. We're going to target at 5 yards, and we're just going to go run through some drills. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to do just a standard accuracy test. So I got a little bit more experience with this Glock 34, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to shoot the bullseye on the left at 5 yards, and just see what kind of grip we get. Alright, a lot of those did not feel good. That was all me. Those all should have been right in the bullseye right there. But, yeah, kind of stringing a little bit left and right with this particular gun. That's all me in that trigger. That's definitely all me in that trigger. That is not the gun. The gun, all of them should have been touching right in the bullseye. But, okay, let's go ahead and we're going to see how the Glock 26 holds up. Same deal, Glock 26 Gen 3 combat carry. This one right here, the trigger pull is about a 4-pound. There's about 4.5 pound trigger pull, so I think it's about a pound heavier than what the Glock 34 is. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Okay, so hilariously enough, with the Glock 34, I seem to be swaying more left and right here. With the Glock 26, I seem to be being controlled a little bit more by the recoil, so now I got stringing up and down, but my windage looks good. So definitely an interesting little thing about that. This particular pistol, it does have a little bit more recoil. I definitely feel it more in my hand. So next thing we're going to do is in the scene where John first meets Cassian, they both square off and then they fire from the hip, from concealment. They fire from the hip. I'd say roughly between 5 and 7 yards. I'm just going to say 5 yards because my hip shooting is not great. And I believe I'm going to fire 3 rounds center mass right here and see if I can get hits. So one of the things that Glock had actually revolutionized when they first came out with their pistols was that when you have a larger pistol right here and you have a holster, you can actually fit that gun in the holster. But even when you went to the smaller version, you can still fit that same gun in that same holster. Same thing with the magazines. When you have a full-size magazine right there, it still fits in the same gun. So that was a huge thing that Glock had actually revolutionized quite a bit. There was some companies out there that were making smaller versions of the same gun, and I think Glock was really the first one that actually made it really, really work, where you can use a lot of the same accessories. So anyway, or at least they were the most famous for it. But we're going to use this T-Rex Arms. I think this is the Ragnarok holster. I got a Blade Tech attachment for it. And this right here is a great setup for just a basic pistol, like even for a competition pistol. Even if you had a red dot on there, you can still run this holster, and you can run this holster with the bigger versions. You can run it with the smaller guns, and it's a decent starter holster. So let's go ahead and attach this. Okay, my hip shooting is not great, but we're gonna try this anyway. So we're staying roughly about 5 yards from the target. Should be fine. Should be fine.
Good night.
Afraid so. I have no idea where one of my shots was. So we got one right there, one right there. So I was kind of shooting faster than I was really trained to, especially with this technique that I don't have a lot of practice with. Yeah, let's go ahead and set up the Glock 26. We're going to mark these off real quick. Oh, by the way, those 3 shots was a 196. First shot was a 47. So shooting from the hip was not really any faster than if I just drew and shot from sights. Okay, now we're going to try the Glock 26 from the same holster. Why not? Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so first shot was a 163, splits was a 28, total time was a 223, and there's my 2 hits. Okay, so yeah, I think I took my time a little bit more, and oh, there's it. Glock 26 got all 3 on there. So, and that would have been in the jacket, so I guess it's probably it's probably safe to say that I would have not have killed Cassian either, because I hit him in the jacket. So, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's shoot just from using our sights and see how well we do. That was terrible, but at least my first shot hit him. So, bang. Brought my gun up, and I threw those 2 way high into the right, because that's the path my gun wanted to go. Gripping it too hard. That was a 183. First shot was a 141. So honestly, my first shot was the same, but my other 2 shots don't really matter because I missed them completely. Okie doke. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. First shot was a little bit faster. It was at a 138. 1, 2, 3. 22, 22. So, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Once again, for some reason, I'm shooting the Glock 26 better. So we're just going to go for the head, do headshots from concealment. Alright. So 140. So 173. I took a lot of time for that one. Oh, perfect. 139. Oh. It's 210. My jacket got in the way. Oh, I missed that one completely. So 153. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? Let's save some head for the Glock 26. This thing's shooting a little high, so let's go ahead and we're going to aim a little bit more down. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So 143. $137. So 150. 156. Oh, I threw that. I think I chucked that one low and left, so I missed. It was a 169. Good shot, too. So, let's see what we got here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there's 2 here, I think. Okay, so, yeah. Something I need to work on a little bit. Let's shoot some bill drills. So now we're at 7 yards, 6 shots. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. That was a 293. I think we're all good. You know what? I completely forgot to move the camera. I'll be right back. 2.5, 2.2, 2, 2.1, 2.1. So that Glock 34 actually had a bad grip for that. Took me a little bit to get my grip. Okay. It was a 243. First shot was a 3.6. 2.4, 2.1, 2.1, 2.1, 2.0. I think we're decent. We're still all in the gray area, but it'd be optimal to have them right here in the down 0 area. So something I need to work on right there with recoil management, but time's not that bad. I'm still trying to get a sub 1 second draw. So because John Wick was heavily influenced through shooting competitions, they don't really use anything like this inside the waistband holster. I mean, he does use it a couple times for his backup piece, like the Glock 26. And so, but he doesn't really use appendix carry. He usually uses like small of the back carry. So we're going to do appendix carry for this one right here and see how we do on time. All right, we got 6 rounds. Appendix. Let's do this. Oof. My front sight was favoring a little bit to the right of the target. First shot was not any faster because I didn't really get a good grip. 156. 2, 3, 1, 9, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. So, yeah. Right there. I was really favoring that right side because my front sight was actually more like this. It was really favoring that right side a little bit. So, anyway, but out of all my shots, I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, probably count that 4 outside the gray. So, well, 4 outside of like the target itself, and then we got these 2 right here, so that'd be 6 total. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna shoot. Yeah, wrong one. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna shoot at 50 feet and see what we get for groups here. That was ugly, but very center. Those 2 to the left right there, I pulled those 2. I felt that trigger pull. It was terrible. All right, let's see if we can shoot a group just underneath it. Ah. So, if anybody asks which gun is more accurate, if it's a bigger gun or a smaller gun, what really matters is the size of the gun actually makes you more consistent shooter. As you can see, I threw this one high, and right, and I don't even know, I might have even completely thrown one of my shots. And this one right here is a little bit easier to control, so my group right here, they have these 2 shots right here that I kind of threw to the left, but other than that, this is the majority of my group, this is the majority of my group. Not really much difference in between the 2 guns, but at the same time. This one's a little bit easier to shoot, a little bit easier to be more consistent. This one is just as accurate, but it's smaller and it's more difficult to manage. So that's basically the biggest difference between these two pistols. All right, so roughly about 10 yards. Got 20 rounds. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Cool. 20 rounds in 9:13. First shot was a 177. A little slow. 28, 25, 24, 21, 22, 20. So it's a 327 reload. It's because for some reason those magazines like getting stuck in here. Alright, so fairly consistent. I think I had like a couple of high 20s in there. Let's take a look over here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Charlies. I'll take it. Let's go ahead and try the Glock 34. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. And I saw that. That went right over the top. It's like right over the right shoulder over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Charlies, 1 Mike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see 11 in there somewhere. So 1 Mike, 7 Charlies. So yeah, I don't think that's a win for this pistol, really. I mean, it was easier to control, but that easier to control did not negate my lack of training with this particular pistol. The Glock 26 did slightly better only because of the fact that I took a little bit more time and actually made sure I got all my hits. This thing right here, as soon as I came back up on target, I threw one right over the right shoulder. I saw that. So my draw stroke was a little bit faster, 151. So 22, 20, 17, 18, 19, 20, 19, 18, 26. So it was a 223 reload. 39, 22, 18, 19, 19, 20, 19, 19, 18. This thing right here shoots fast. I'll give it that. It definitely shoots a lot faster. That trigger definitely helps, and this slide right here reciprocating, it shoots really nice. It definitely shoots really nice. I like it. So yeah, the Glock 26 and the Glock 34, Combat Master and the Combat Carry. I mean, the Combat Carry, it's a nice gun. It works. It's mostly show, though. I don't really see any benefit over just getting a stock Glock 26 Gen 3. But, I mean, it shoots really well. It shoots well. It definitely shoots well. The trigger's fine, the grip is fine, the texture's fine, it works. I just think it's all show. And if you want fiber optic sights, you can throw fiber optic sights onto a Glock 26 Gen 3. I personally prefer the Gen 5. I personally am a big fan of the Glock 26 Gen 5 over the Gen 3. But these finger grooves right here, take them or leave them. I don't really think it makes much of a difference for me personally. And then we got the Glock 34 Gen 3 Combat Master. I mean, this is the John Wick package right here. Once again, shoots really well. It shoots really well. That fiber optic front sight's really easy to track, and it's fast. This thing moves really fast. One thing to note about this pistol in particular, though, that I personally don't really care for, is that, it uses a non-captured guide rod right here. And I think it's stainless steel, and you can see that it's a little bit really weirdly hand-fitted, I think. It looks ugly, but this is how they sent it to me. I really kind of wish they just went with a captured guide rod, but I don't know if this is what was actually meant for the John Wick films. So one thing I really do not like about this is this thing is a pain in the ass to get put back together. So, right here. I hate this. I really hate this. But, right there. Right there. Make sure that all stays together. Now we can... Okay. Alright. Practice makes perfect. But overall, this pistol right here, if you're going to pick between these two, I would say go with the 34. Just go with the Glock 34. The combat carry is fine if you want it as part of your collection. But me personally, like, I don't really find a use for it. I just want it as part of my collection because it is from John Wick. The 34, if you wanted a pistol that you could really run and run well and that shoots well, shoots nice and soft, and it wants to go fast, the Glock 34 is definitely the way to go. That's basically all I got for you. So make sure you stay out of trouble. And if you can't stay out of trouble, you didn't learn it from me.
Wow.